USC stay undefeated at 5-0. Colorado falls to 3-2, make it a 48-41 final. So Colorado covers the number, and the over hits as they put up 89 points. Caleb Williams, another big day for him, 30 of 40, over 400 yards, 6 touchdowns, which ties a career high and is one shy of the school record. But of note, first interception of the season tossed in this game. Shedeur Sanders, not too bad himself, 30 of 45, 371, 4 touchdowns, 50 rushing yards, and a rushing touchdown. So he accounts for 5 touchdowns in the game, but it isn't a losing cause as the Buffaloes fall to a second straight defeat. Jeremy St. Louis alongside Leger Douzable. Smoke Dixon joining us from our 24/7 studios in Nashville. Smoke, I'll get your reaction here. We knew that USC, heavy favorites coming into this game, but are you surprised that Colorado were able to keep it so close at the end?
Not at all. I mean, if you look at SC on defense, they can't stop a rain from falling on anybody's head. And then when you get into the game, when you have a big lead like that, dudes, you and I both know, just stick the ball in the belly of Marshawn Lloyd and get the game over with. So what I learned is Lincoln Riley is the same guy, great quarterback, great offense, and defense is always something they be questioned.
Yes, but what we learned is that USC can't stop a nosebleed on defense. I mean, Arizona State, who was one of the worst offensive teams in all of college football, put up 28 points against them and had that a close game with them up until the fourth quarter. We saw this. USC had a big lead, and Colorado finally started to get some stops in the second half. Honestly, I believe Shedeur Sanders outplayed Caleb Williams in that second half. Jeremy, you alluded to that interception that Caleb Williams had. He kind of short-hopped it to his receiver on a back shoulder fade. It was actually a really good play by the defensive back. But Shedeur Sanders, that 4th and 10 play in the red zone to final Marion Williams, putting it where only Williams can catch it on the move to cut the lead down to 14. That is a NFL-type throw. So USC, we've always talked about their defense. I don't consider them a college football playoff team until that defense can eventually stop somebody.
So from what we saw today from Caleb Williams, you saw him go over 400 yards, the passing for 6 touchdowns. I mean, we talked earlier on the shows about, you know, his Heisman candidacy, that now it's Michael Penix and him, and that they're, depending on where you're looking, one is the favorite or they're at even odds. Yeah. In terms of what you saw from Caleb Williams today, is this performance a resume builder, or does it just simply, it's just simply on the board?
I believe it's a builder. Anytime you have 6 touchdown passes and throw for, I believe, 400 yards, it's a resume builder. And you talk about a Colorado team, before last week against Oregon where they got literally boat raced, they were in the top 25. So this is a team at Colorado where Caleb Williams, week in and week out, Jeremy, he feels like he has to go put up 50 points to win a game. So there was pressure for him to continue scoring points in this game. So I think this lifts him up in the Heisman candidate race. Now, a lot of people will say Colorado has a really bad defense, but again, the pressure week in and week out that Caleb Williams faces to make sure his offense can put up enough points because he knows his defense is going to give up a lot of points. I think this gives him a raise in the Heisman candidacy.
Yeah, when you look at it, Caleb just did exactly what he's supposed to do. He came out there, put the numbers up, put his team in a good situation to win the game. Moving forward, he's just going to just keep checking the boxes, keep putting up the stats. And the only 2 games that he has to worry about is out there in Washington and Oregon when he has to play those 2 good teams.
Yeah, they play
right
those.
Now, outstanding job, man. Just keep doing it.
Yeah, they play those teams back-to-back. Michael Penix and Bo Nix. He's going to see those teams back-to-back in weeks 10 and 11. 7 and 8, they get 11 Notre Dame and 10 Utah. So in terms of ranked games that are left on their schedule, maybe if you need to see more from Caleb Williams, those are going to be the games where you're going to need to see him kind of show out. But again, a big day today against Colorado. Don't want to take anything away from that. Smoke, what did we learn about the Buffaloes today?
They know how to put their back against the wall and come out fighting. I love what I saw late in the game. They didn't quit. You saw an inspired group come out there, and you know they're being coached to do so. So moving forward, all they're doing is just building. They got a young team. They're playing a lot of young guys. Coach Prime is just building the culture. And when you build culture, you're going to have to go through some headaches. But this headache probably feels good after a loss.
Smoke, you hit it right on the head. You talked about culture, changing the culture at Colorado. This is a team that won 1 game last year, and again, got smoked week 1, no pun intended, smoked, not week 1, but last week versus Oregon. And then they were down big in this game at half, but they never quit. That's what you love to see this team do. Also, we learned that Deion Sanders is a really good football coach. He decided to play a little bit more of his true freshman in this game. Omarion Williams almost had 200 yards receiving, and he did most of that in the second half. So him leaning on some of his young players because they were down big, giving them an opportunity, that is coaching, realizing he needed a spark from some of his younger guys, and they were able to do that in the second half.
It's a 2-game losing streak for Colorado, but the one thing we do know is that they will end their Pac-12, I guess, career, you could call it, for Colorado, without a defeat of USC. Smoke Dixon, Leger Dusable joining us here on CBS Sports HQ. Instant reaction as it is USC 48-41, winners over Colorado. We knew Colorado would be able to score points. Not sure many thought it would be this close at the end. As you take a look at Colorado's schedule next week at Arizona State. So they're on a 2-game losing streak. That's going to be a game where they're probably going to be favorites to win that one. Then they get Stanford, then UCLA. Things tightening up a little bit after the next couple of weeks. So Deion and company certainly hopeful that they can get back into the win column for a couple of games before they get a tough one, UCLA, and then 19 Oregon State.